Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia and I like to share my life and travels with you. Well, today I'm going to talk about food again. I mean, food is a huge subject in Malaysia, right? So I'm going to tell you what my favorite restaurants are and show you some of my home-cooked meals. Sound interesting? Stay tuned. So I've been in KL for about 2 years now, and I'm going to tell you some of the restaurants I found that are my personal favorites for different occasions, different meals. And I'll throw in some of the prices too, so you'll have an idea for that. First of all, let's start with breakfast. Now, Taylor's not a big breakfast eater. I mean, I love breakfast when I'm on vacation and have a buffet at the hotel. That's wonderful. But in general at home, I don't eat any breakfast, just have some coffee. But when I go out, I like to get roti canai, as you all know. And my favorite place to get that is Q Bistro. It's a little bit more upscale for a mamak. A little more expensive, but still very inexpensive. I mean, my breakfast there for two is usually around 20 ringgit. They have other food too, like Maggi goreng that you can see here, and other things that are typical at mamaks. And it's good, and I can walk there, so that's nice. Now there's a new place that's even closer that has delicious roti canai. Now I've only been there once, so I can't count that as a favorite just yet. But if I like it more, I'll tell you about it more later. For another place in the neighborhood that I can walk to for breakfast, I sometimes go to the Daily Grind. Now I think the best thing on their menu is their Eggs Benedict. They are just yummy. Of course halal, so there's no Canadian bacon or anything. But just yummy, as you can see here. And it's served with a half avocado and some salad. I just love this breakfast. And that's the Daily Grind, and that's like a maybe 6-minute walk from my place, so great. Now, I've met a few people at this place, and I'm not sure actually what it's called. It's either RA-FT, I don't know, Raft, or Raft. I call it Raft. But it's a cool place that I found recently. It's very near the famous Ilhelm building, near KLCC. And I like it particularly because they have delicious food, non-halal, but that's the secret. Because it's non-halal, it's almost never busy. Now the expats know where it is and they do find it, but like on weekends, if I wanted to go to say Kinney Hills or something, I'd always have to wait in a huge line because it's halal. But at this place, there's usually not a line and you get seated right away. They have terrific Eggs Benedict too, and with real ham or bacon. I've had some of their pastas too, and this hummus bowl is wonderful. So check out Raft sometimes if you're downtown. It's good for breakfast or lunch. Now I have a bunch of places I go for lunch, so I'll go through them quickly. The first one that I've talked about before is Soul Sacrifice, and it's in Desa Pandan, and it's just sort of a funky little place, but very good Western food. It's halal though, so I can go there with my Malay friends. But my favorite things to get there are this ricotta toast. It's so yummy. It's whipped ricotta cheese, and you can get different toppings on it, but I like the tomatoes and olives for a savory breakfast. And then I sometimes get a little half avocado on the side to make it even more healthy. My other favorite dish at this place is their smoked duck salad. Whoa, is it delicious, as you can see here. And I'll show you several different variations of it because I've had it so many times. But it's yummy, and I usually get a half avocado extra for it too. That makes it even better in my book. Another place that I can walk to, which is really near the Daily Grind, is 28 Fireplace. And that's a lovely restaurant. I usually get the Wagyu burger when I go there. And they have delicious scones, as you can see here. I told you about this one. I got it free from the manager because he recognized Taylor from his channel. So that was fun. Another place that's not real close to me that I like a lot is Tapestry. Now, it's sort of near Chow Kit. They say it's in Chow Kit, but I get so many people saying it's not in Chow Kit. It's near Chowkit, let's put it that way. But they have lovely breakfast things. Also good Eggs Benedicts. You know, I come to think of it, I get Eggs Benedict a lot. Well, that's just because it's so yummy and I love hollandaise sauce. But they have good eggs there. They have these grain bowls that I show here that are just yummy and very healthy too. I think Tapestry's food is sort of healthy. So check that out if you're ever down near Chowkit. Another favorite place where I like to meet people who watch my channel is Sold Out. It's in the link, and I've done a video on the link that everybody loved. But it's a great place, very casual, very laid back, quite a few expats actually, but I almost always get the butter chicken, as you can see here. For not an Indian restaurant, I think their Indian food is really good, and I think this butter chicken is one of the best I've ever had, so I recommend it. Also, they have terrific mojitos here if you like those, and usually they're on special at happy hour. Oh, so I forgot, and I haven't really talked about prices for any of these places. Raft is going to be more like 100 ringgit for two. Daily Grind, similar, but I go there alone a lot, and I can do that for under 50 ringgit. Soul Sacrifice is usually 100 ringgit for two, and honestly, they have the best carrot cake I've ever tried, and it's yummy. They make it in-house, so it's extra good. Sold Out's going to be about 100 ringgit too. Tapestry also around 100 ringgit. Maybe I should just say everything's 100 ringgit unless I say different. Now, I've probably told you this before, but my absolute favorite place to get pizza is La Bodega. Now, this one is on Ampang, and it's right across the street from Hoc Chun. Everyone knows where Hoc Chun is. But it has the best pizza I think I've had in Malaysia. It's cooked in a wood fire oven, and it's just incredible. My favorite one is the mushroom cheese and truffle oil. And when they bring it out, you can really smell the truffles. So delicious. Their pepperoni is awesome too, as you can see here. It's a nice place. It's kind of pricey too, though. Their pizzas are going to be around 50 ringgit. But their pizzas are big enough for two people, as long as you're not Taylor. I can usually eat most of one myself, and then take a couple of slices home to have later. So where do I go for dinner most of the time? Well, you know, I'm going to get to it later, but I mostly eat at home, and you're going to see some of the delicious things I've created. But when I go out, I tend to stay closer to home. I don't want to drive all over the city for dinner. But one of my favorite places for dinner, and lunch too actually, is Ben's. And that's at the link, and really Ben's has locations everywhere. I love the one in Publica. I've shown you that one before. But I always get the chicken and avocado sandwich or the chicken and avocado salad. Both really good. And I think two people can eat there for just a little over 100 ringgit. My favorite Chinese place for dinner is Hakka. I've shown you this place before too. They have this interesting thing I hadn't had anywhere else called yam nest. I think it's called yam nest. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'll put up what it's really called up here. But it's yummy with chicken. And they have delicious ribs there too, and awesome prawns. Ooh, the butter prawns are so delicious. I just like the atmosphere here too, because it's outdoors, and if it's a lovely night, you see well, you don't see stars in KL, but you see the sky and the other tall buildings, and it's just a really nice atmosphere. Here's some pictures of it. I just love this place, and I've been there several times now. It's one of my favorites. And of course, you all know, probably my favorite place to go, and it's not so much about the food, it's about the location, about a 5-minute walk from my house, and the cheap wine. During happy hour, their wine is 15 ringgit a glass, and you just can't beat that. Of course, it's non-halal because they have a lot of pork, and I do get the pork belly some, but I like the pork chops. They have this other chicken dish that's just wonderful. It's like a roulade. And my favorite thing there is their mussels. Now, a thing to remember that the waiter told me was that the mussels come in fresh, flown in fresh, every Thursday. So you want to get them like probably Thursday on, and then probably into the next week. You might want to skip them because they won't be as fresh. But I have had them as late as Monday or Tuesday, and they were still good. But if you like mussels, these are great and have several choices of sauces. So those are everyday dinner places. But where do I go when I want something fancy? Well, I can tell you the one place I've been the most, probably, it's sort of a tie. The first couple of years I've been here, I went to Steakhouse KL in Changkat, and I think it is the best steakhouse I've ever been to. Now, the decor is kind of tired. It's really not that stunning, but the food is excellent. So delicious. I swear, their filet mignon just melts in your mouth. It is the best I've ever had. I can honestly say that. And all their food is good. And the drinks too. You know, it's associated with the whiskey bar next door, so they have delicious cocktails too. The only problem, and it's not really a problem because you expect it to be expensive when you're going out on a special night, but I have yet to eat at Steakhouse Kuala Lumpur for less than 800 ringgit for 2 people. Now that really has to be a special occasion, I'd say. But for the most part, I think it's worth it. The second place I go most often for a fancy meal is Back Alley Pasta that I've featured heavily on my channel. So I'm not going to go too much into it here, but you can see some of the dishes here I get there. They're all so different and wonderful, and they have the best pork ribs I think I've ever had. Now there are a lot, 180 ringgit, but they're way more than enough for 2 people. Usually 3, probably. I mean, I go there so much they know me. Well, they know me anyway because I did a whole video on them. So they're very nice to Taylor when he goes there. But I still recommend Back Alley Pasta very highly. Check it out. And again, that's one I can walk to, oh gosh, in less than 5 minutes. It's right next to Brussels Beer Cafe. Now, I've paid different amounts there because it just depends on what you're getting. But if I'm going for a really special dinner and I have wine and something special on the menu that costs over 100 ringgit, it usually costs me about 400 ringgit for 2 people. But that's not bad for a really first-class meal. Another place I like to go for a little special meal, not real fancy, but nice, is Alexis. And that's in the Great Eastern Mall. It has some outdoor seating, which is nice, but we usually sit inside. And my favorite thing there is duck confit. It is the best duck confit that I've had in Malaysia. Well, except maybe from What the Duck in Penang. I don't know. It's been a long time since I had theirs. But yeah, it's really good. And for KL, it's delicious duck confit. And it has a nice atmosphere too. Now, if you get wine and stuff there, it's going to be probably 300 ringgit too. It's not cheap. And every time I go, it seems like the prices have gone up, which is a little annoying. So now I'm going to tell you about a place I went to on my first trip to KL, and that's Horizon Grill. Now, it's in the Four Seasons. No, it's not the Four Seasons. It's, I'll put it up here. I'll have to think about it. My mind, you know, I'm old. What can I say? I'm almost 70. But it's on the top floor, has stellar views of KLCC, the Twin Towers, and it is pretty fancy and expensive. It has a lovely view though, but honestly, it's one of those places where they just don't give you enough food, but charge a ton for it. Look at this little appetizer I got. Now it is foie gras, but it's barely a bite, and this was like 138 ringgit. And the steak, well, you can see how small it is, although it's a filet, so not usually too big. But look at that little wisp of mashed potatoes with it. I don't know about you, but when I have mashed potatoes with my steak, I like a little more than just a spoonful. Anyway, this place is really expensive, like 800 ringgit, and I just wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it's worth it, unless you just want the view. But speaking of views, I'm going to tell you about my favorite place for cocktails. Now, I've talked about this place before too, and it's Blue at the EQ. It's on the top floor of the Equatorial Hotel and has incredible views. I think the best views in KL, as you can see here. Now, it's really just a place to go for drinks and maybe some appetizers. You can see I got this cheese platter once, and that was like 80 ringgit, and it certainly didn't fill us up. And the drinks aren't cheap either, so you can plan to spend 400-600 ringgit there if you're going to drink for any length of time. But you could just go for 1 or 2 drinks and not have it break the bank. And that's what I'm going to do in the future. It's just a really fabulous place, as you can see in all these videos. Another favorite place for a cocktail is the Majestic Hotel. And it has this secret little bar. Again, I've forgotten the name. I'm going to have to put it up here. But it's part of the hotel, but you have to go outside to get to it. And it is like a little speakeasy almost. It's charming and has the best bartenders I've found in Malaysia, actually. So I went in there the first time and I knew it was a real bartender when I ordered a dry Manhattan on the rocks with a twist. He knew exactly what I wanted. And it was delicious, as you can see here. I don't have enough footage of this place, but trust me, it's charming and very, very comfortable. And it's 2-for-1 drinks during happy hour, which I believe is 5 to 8. And so you can get 2 of those Manhattans for 50 ringgit, and that makes them 25 ringgit each, which is an exceptional value in Malaysia for a cocktail. But those are the 2 favorite places I have for drinks. As I said earlier, I actually eat mostly at home, and I'm a pretty good cook. Now, I've done a couple of cooking videos. I'm sure you found them amusing. But I cook, I'd say 5 nights out of 7. And I'm going to show you some of my dishes here. Now, I'm going to put them in random order, so I don't know what they are. So I'll put the names of the dishes up next to them. I mean, I'm a southern home cook. I cook a lot of gravy, chicken and rice, mashed potatoes with cheese on top, all things like that. And I have a new air fryer. I got a bigger one that's like over 6 quarts, and I'm telling you, it does an amazing job. I mean, you can do a whole chicken. Look at this chicken, how perfect it is. And I did that in the air fryer in about 45 minutes. So that's just awesome. And an air fryer doesn't heat up your whole kitchen like an oven does, although most places, unless they're really upscale, don't even have ovens here. It's a Philips air fryer. They're not sponsoring this video or anything, but I just wanted to recommend it. I'm really happy with it. And you can turn it on from your phone, so that's really cool too. So I hope you enjoy looking at some of the fabulous dishes I make. Maybe they don't look so fabulous, but honestly, they taste really good. I get no complaints at Taylor's Cafe, I can tell you that. So I don't know if it's obvious or not, but this week was one of those times I really couldn't think of anything to do for a video, and I thought, well, Taylor's favorite restaurants might be okay. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and check the notification bell too. That way you won't miss any of my future content. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm creeping up on almost 20,000 subscribers. Should be any week now. That'll be amazing. And I'm getting ready for my 70th birthday party in Penang, which I plan to document on some level. You'll see how much fun I have. But that's all I have for today, everyone. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Talk to you later. Bye.